Hi guys, this is Nikki, also known as Faces Trader, and it's the first day of October already. This is the awesome 10x Philippine market update, and what a day it was! Actually, it's such a volatile day that I never expected today to be very volatile. So your index is up 5,000. Your index is now up 80 points to 5,944 points. You've got a slew of winners and also some losers. You could see that the volatility was quite big. If you look at the stats today, if you look at the top traded is of course Dito Telecom, Chelsea. You've got some people also trading CHP to the downside. You've got Nowcorp, ICT breaks out, Metrobank 38.9. So we will discuss all of these, but before we begin, let's go first to your index. Let's take a look at the market value. Market value today is 5 billion pesos, so that's huge. Take note that that's a lot of buying and selling today. You've got 81 advancers, 108 decliners, foreign net selling is 545 million. Some people really made a lot of money. Some people lost a lot of money today. Gainers, ICT 4%, AEV 4%, Aboitiz Power up 3%, BPI 3%, Robinson's Retail up 2%, Pure Gold down 1%, Jollibee down 1%. But the majority of the volume today was not in any of the index names. As you know, the top traded for the day with 1.1 billion pesos is Dito Telecom. So why don't we start with the biggest volume for the day, biggest number of trades? This is Dito Telecom. So as you know, ever since the Trading Cup competition, Dito Telecom actually broke out with a 426. It rallied to 5 pesos. That was a quick 20+% move in just 2 days. Had a consolidation, and today it was quicker from about 5 to as high as 594 and a quick down. So what happened in 2 days before, which was a 20%, is now happening in a single day, and also a drop in a single day too. Take note that Dito Telcom, if you take a look at the past few days, you would have assumed that there will be some resistances at some point at about 550 to about 6 pesos. And that really happened today. This previous you would say that this 611, this 6 pesos here, was the first resistance that got met today, that round number 6. Nonetheless, what would happen with Dito Telecom is that it would consolidate. You do know that Dito Telecom has broken out of that 350. That was the August 24 here. If you recall this one, that used to be the franchise renewal. I always say this, that it broke down to 320. There was that sell-on news, and then it broke out at 350. After breaking out at 350, yes, it went to 420, and then consolidated another breakout, consolidated another breakout. So this is what? This is like first, second, the third. So of course, you might say some people probably got as low as 250, but those are not momentum players. The momentum players would have bought somewhere here at about 350 to 370, 425, 430. So a lot of them actually took profit today. You could see that from the daily, in just the last 5 minutes, after hitting as high as 594, Dito also fell down and went as low as 530. Nonetheless, you could see that the breakout people and 5 could now be profit taking, and that was a quick move, so they're still profit taking. So for now, we'll give the bears the right to say that this is a sell off. Any rallies of Dito Telecom back to about 5.7 or 5.8 will be met with some rallies to the downside. Of course, but that said, if Dito Telecom instead goes down to 5 pesos or 480, you'd have another buying set here. So a lot of people would have bought at 5 breakout, probably also sold within the day. And then, of course, the people who were early buying for 40, for 50, for 60, even just a few days ago, they'll also be tempted to take profit, but it might be that at 5 below, they might be buying. Let's say they buy at 5, they buy at 460. So you've got 2 levels of potential support. Nonetheless, you could see that every strong 1.5 billion, 1 billion pesos, those are chances to, in my view, the last chance to sell. Any rallies near 560 to 590, that would be considered a double top. Now, it can even go 650, pero the chances are there will be volatility. The truth is there will be volatility. It goes down, there will be buyers. It goes up, there will be sellers. Of course, other than Dito, let's take a look at what's happened. You've got Chelsea. Chelsea went 4 to 6. Now, Chelsea, we were asking ourselves yesterday why it was breaking out. And people were saying because Chelsea owned a majority stake on Dito Telecoms. Now, Chelsea, to say the least, went from 4 to 6 in just 2 days and also back to 5. So you could see that unlike Dito Telecom, which was smooth sailing, Chelsea went from about 4 and went to 650. So that is an amazing 50% move in just 2 days and also a quick 30% down in just a few hours. So if you look at the 5-minute chart, you could see that Chelsea was sold down aggressively and this one is your top. And if it rallies back to about 560 or 550, that those will be considered sell-offs. So those are the bears win this, and any rallies back to about 540 to 560 will be continually sold for Chelsea. Now, of course, the buyers was here at about 4, so that would be congratulations again to the Investacup players, and also not just the players, but also the people who are trading real money for these big volatile moves that really made big volatility. Dito and Chelsea. Now for CHP, Cemex, let's see. Most of these top traded names are actually very volatile. As you could see, Chelsea went from about Chelsea was 4 to 6. Take note that CHP volatility is also big. We noticed that CHP Cemex went from 150 to as high as 165. But after today's move, 170 back to 154, it seems like it goes back to about 140 or 150. You see the resistance. All the buyers are now sellers. So the winners, again, even if you won, let's say you made a buy, you also would have won on the selling off. So if you didn't sell, that would not have been a great gain. So there was a tremendous volatility as well. So again, the winners for CHP were the ones who got out at 170. Any rallies for CHP back to 170 would then be considered a sell-off. So you have more selling pressure. You could see that CHP, Chelsea, and Dito have a lot of selling pressure. So very strong moves, yes, but also a lot of selling pressure after the strong moves. Now, take a look at other names. You've got NowCorp. We did say that NowCorp, after a parabolic move, NowCorp went as high as 430, fell down. Now, this one at about 3, we bought some. And then I sold early, 320, 330, I sold already the next day. But it rallied as high as 360. That was also part of the equation, actually. It can rally to 360, given that this one still had a momentum. Now, the question lang is, can NowCorp still break to 380, given that it is still uptrend, technically speaking? As long as it is above 320, it's still there. So NowCorp is now 345. There were some people who still continue to get in at 330. We will not know if Dito or Chelsea will fall down, because chances are, all of these volatile names, they have a resistance. Even if they rise tomorrow, you already see that peak. So example, for NowCorp, this peak of 420, 440, that is a peak. So you still see that selling resistance pressure. And any rallies for NowCorp back to 380, there will be some selling pressure. This is not an easy way up. There will be resistances. Now, Metrobank continues to rise, but we were also saying that Metrobank at about 40 pesos will have some resistances. So watch out for the rallies, because yes, you would be okay if you bought at 33, 34, but if you're buying only late already, chances are to make money is very slim. If you're buying high, 40 pesos and 42 is already a potential resistance for Metrobank. Now, what else? Your ICT is a clear breakout. We were saying that ICT, should it break 110, looks to be poised to break out. And today that happened. So ICT broke out from 110, it rallied to 115. Your next resistance would be 121, and then 128, 130. So whether ICT goes ahead another 5% or it goes down, we can see that there are a lot of buyers at 110 to 107. The prior resistance is now becoming the support. What else? So very strong moves for, okay, let's take a look at your PLDT and your Globe. Let's take a look at other telecoms here. Your Tel and your Globe. Your Tel continues to fall, but we saw the very first dragonfly, meaning you saw some people willing to buy telephone at about 1307. It can be retested tomorrow. It can still fall to 1300 or even 1280, but we will assume that this 1300 and 1275 is a potential buying signal for your PLDT. Okay, so now with Globe, let's take a look at Globe. Globe is still steady, no movement. Let's take a look at your Cebu Pacific. Last night, it gave a good move, and today was another confirmation that indeed yesterday's first day rally was a confirmation that there is that momentum all the way till today. So assuming you bought even at 38 today or even at 39, you're still ahead. You've got volume, and you could see that Cebu Pacific has been bottoming out. So where can it go? Can it go to 45? Let's see whether it can go 45. But for now, there will be resistance here at 45, and then of course another resistance at 54, and of course another resistance at 50 and 55. So 45, 50, and 55, let's watch out for those resistances for Cebu Pacific. Now, let's take a look at each one of them. Your SM Prime is 30 bucks. So it rallied from 28, now it went 29, then 30, just like the way Ayala Land went from 28 to 31, 32. So Ayala Land is still at 30, so naghabol si SM Prime kay Ayala Land. Your ASEN today, 53 million. However, ASEN is still sleeping at about 310. So ASEN, we're seeing that it's just consolidating. It's just a little flag here. We don't know whether this flag will break out or break down. If it breaks out, then it can go 340 to 350, still new highs, all-time highs. So far naman, with uptrends kasi, our assumption is that the trend is your friend. So until the trend breaks, we will assume that this one is on the upside. So we will assume that the resolution for these flags is gonna be on the upside. We just don't know when that upside will happen. Now, where else can we see? Let's see. Okay, so SM Prime, Jollibee, steady, 145, 150. There's a selling pressure there. Actually, IDC is also active today. Pero IDC fell eh. IDC broke. IDC went up and then fell down. So we already saw that there are some people trading IDC, no? Some volume was happening from about 199. It rallied a gap up here at about 209, 210. That was a flag, went to 220, 225, and then went back. So many spikes with IDC though. So we are seeing that there are attempts, pero it's always being shot down. Whether it finally breaks out of 240, it could. And as long as it's above 2, it looks like 205 is your first sign of support. That higher, that gap up looks to be holding on. So there's that sense of uptrend for IDC. Then, of course, let's take a look on your, so Chelsea, no? Chelsea already, we identified some selling pressure here at 6. Any rallies back to 550 to 6 will be a selling zone. So that resistance still stays. Now, what else? What else? You've got your Ayala Corp is just crawling. Nickel Asia went up, but it's still crawling. So we're seeing that Nickel Asia and FNI tried to break out. You could see there was an attempt of a breakout, but it was shot down. So it seems as if there are people trying to break out Nickel Asia. You've got that falling wedge. So this bullish signal. Actually, this is just a healthy profit correction, no? And then you're seeing that support at 292. So far, this break of 3, we'll see whether it can rally to 340 or 350. Even if it drops, I guess there's some support here at 292. Same for nickel, same for FNI. We'll probably take a look at all of them. So FNI, it's trying to hold support at 113. It also corrected from about 140 to 113. The uptrend is still intact for both of them. Let's take a look at the other nickel. I wasn't looking at Mark. Just let's see. Kasi usually nickel FNI trade. So Mark is also just consolidating. So just there. So most of the charts of nickel, FNI, and Mark are the same. I would say that nickel is a competition in many battery makers today. I've seen like in China, China's battery maker. I actually just shared it in the global some of our awesome 10x subscribers that there's an IPO coming out in China called StarVault, which uses 75% nickel, 25% manganese for their storage batteries. So again, I would say that nickel will still benefit on electric vehicles. So the trend is still your friend when it comes to nickel names. Now, I'm going to share with you a few things. Okay, so me personally, there was a lot of volatility. My ALLHC is okay. I don't have that dito, Chelsea. I was actually trying to think of buying the 5 peso breakout, but I didn't. And then I was amazed when I came back that, wow, it's already at 5:30 na pala, it really broke out. So I was thinking even if I bought at 5, I would have sold at 550. I wouldn't have been able to sell at 590. Nonetheless, congrats for those. And I'm actually amazed how all these Dito and Chelsea went up recently. Personally, I have losses. You could see that my ASEN is still a loss, biggest loss right now. My FNI is just there. Nickel is just there. It went to 306, then back to 3, just there. BDO creeping up. Cebu Pacific, I tried to buy, konti na lang kasi yung cash ko, so I could only buy 100 shares. So I bought some Cebu Pacific on the breakout today. Apex, it's just there. Actually, gold abroad. I saw some gold abroad rally. So I guess like XAU USD, it's trying to creep up. It's not yet a momentum move. As you could see, consolidation pa lang yan. 1840 to 1890. Maybe if this rally is about 1960 to 2000, that's the only time that Apex and Felix will rise. But it looks like this one is still a support, so hawak lang. It could rally to about 150, 160, 180, so hintay lang yan. Felix Mining, let's see. Felix Mining was stronger pero binibentahan din sa 420, no? So because Felix Mining didn't fall much from 430 to 420 to 407. People didn't really take profit on Felix. As you could see, shallow yung correction nito. That's why I couldn't bet on Felix because it was such a shallow correction unlike the other gold miners. So I'm still waiting if it falls 360 below actually for Felix. So I think that there is room for some healthier consolidation, healthier profit taking for that name. So this is my day 4 na ba? Day 4 na ba? I'm still behind, like super behind. But it's okay, like, you know, I'm just sharing my journey. So yan yung ASEN, FNI is just there. CNPF also just there. You could see that Century Tuna, I also tried to buy this. Sleeping lang Century Tuna is steady. I know that there was a strong support at 16, and then it rallied to 18, 50, consolidated to 17, tulog lang, but I'm still willing to wait it out. So yun, you could see that I am such a diversified player. It is true, when you see my US portfolio, I actually have 30 names, 25 to 30 names. So yeah, sa Philippines, how many names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 names. So wala lang, medyo tulog pa yung mga positions. Nickel, BDO, SEB, Apex, Pure Gold steady lang. Century Tuna. So Pure Gold already had 12 billion pesos of corporate notes. So they issued that. Maingay sorry. Can you still listen? Okay, let me see. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay na, sige. All right, ma'am. Okay. Hi, ma'am. Can you please check SSI? Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, sige, let me see. SSI right now, I think is sleeping SSI is doing, congrats to those who got Chelsea and Dito, congrats. Grabe, I didn't expect mag 50% yung Chelsea. Okay, SSI. SSI is just steady. Looks like parang nagsosupport siya rito sa 1 peso So there was a support here at 105, pero malaki yung resistance sa 125, 130. So trading range muna tong si SSI. I think that there is a range play here because they have been saying that SSI is doing well in their e-commerce front, and then their Shake Shack, their deliveries of their burgers. So they're really going to the food transitioning to food. They also have Crystal Jade. Nickelation FNI, I already said that Nickelation FNI supply nickel to many battery makers. Kasi battery storage, you really need some nickel. Some people will need nickel, some people will need more lithium. So depending on which battery maker it is, you will see a lot of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. We're talking about may CATL in China, may LG Chem, may Panasonic, may Northvolt, may mga EV Volt ba yon? Actually, I'll share to you yung sa sa US. Ano yun si General Motors, may finance siya na Chinese battery maker. I-IPO niya yung magsusupply
yung battery maker na yon kay General Motors. General 2333, sorry. Sa China to eh. Great Wall, sorry, hindi pala General Motors. General Motors is USA. Great Wall Motor, no? So sa China, mga trucks to eh. Malakas to, imagine mo from about 4 to 9.80 to $10. So you could see that this one, they shared na ano eh, they are doing a lot of car financing and they're gonna supply cobalt-free EV batteries to Great Wall. So S-Volt, this is a battery maker. So EV battery maker S-Volt Energy will supply a new cobalt-free battery. The battery will use around 75% nickel, 25% manganese, and then a little bit of metals, whether it be nickel, cobalt, aluminum, or nickel, cobalt, manganese, or lithium iron phosphate. So companies like Panasonic and CATL are looking to lower the content of cobalt because of the financing costs and the expensive kasi yung cobalt eh. So they're trying to lower actually cobalt and lithium as much as possible. Pero hindi naman nila talaga binabagsak yung shipments nila. So it means that if you ask me, my viewpoint is because I think that the world is gonna have millions of electric vehicles someday. The storage batteries would be supplied with nickel, and Nickel Asia will benefit from that trend. So okay lang yan. Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Late ako. Is ICT still a buy po? Actually, mga 1 hour kasi ako umalis. So, nag-breakout yung, nakikita ko yung dito sa 499 at 5. Tapos, pagbalik ko, nakita ko, 550, 530. So, wala na, na-late na. So, hindi ako nag-trigger eh. Tapos, pagbalik ko, nakita ko, ICT 115 na pala. Kasi, syempre, I was thinking mag-breakout yung ICT, pero hindi mga bumili. Anyway, mukha ngang nag-breakout yung ICT. Siguro, ICT, pag bumaba pa ng 110, 112, baka magkakaroon ng buyers. Mukhang pataas si ICT to 120 eh. So, yon. ALLHC kaya will continue on the upside. Can it reach 3 soon? ALLHC na nga lang yung panalo ko eh. ALLHC na nga lang yung up ko. Kasi nagbenta ako ng now eh. Nagbenta ako. So, tapos yung dito, di ko pa binili. So, talagang talo talaga tayo. 240 nag-breakout, no? So, bumili rin ako dito sa 239. Nag-breakout naman siya, so hawak lang. So far, I don't know kung aangat ng tres. Pero so far, mukha namang dati kasi nag-180 to 240. May chance siya mag-60 cents, so baka mag-tres, di ba? So, yeah, hinintay ko rin mag-tres eh. Pero, we'll see. Hintay lang tayo. Anyway, virtual cup lang yan, guys. Huwag kayo masyadong mag-alala. Pero, syempre yung iba, yung tinototohanan nila yung virtual cup. Okay, East West, Ma'am Nix. East West, 860 kagahapon. Magkano ngayon? Actually, alam ko kasi may selling pressure sa 950 eh. Pero, crawling up naman to. 890, not bad. May resistance dito sa 950 and 10. So, tingnan natin kung kaya pa dumiretso ng 950 to 10. So far, so good si East West. Higher lows to. Ayun, 7, 8, 9. So, I think, okay lang. Hayaan natin mag-creep up yan si East West natin. Okay? Hintay kayo. Hindi ako mananalo. 1,000 rank ako eh. So, basta okay lang. Basta maging up lang tayo. Hindi kasi sobrang diversified din ako. Actually, guys, hindi ako nag-all in. So, tingnan nyo naman. Wala. 8,000, 6,000, 8,000. Parang ito, $4,000. Malaki ko yung Apex, mali. $20,000 at pesos. Tapos Asen, mali rin. Tulog pa. Wala eh. Okay lang. Yamo na yan. Kahit mag-rank 100, kahit okay lang. Kahit mag-rank 1,000 tayo, basta up tayo, pwede na rin. Kung ma-up mo ng 100,000 above, pwede na yun. Okay lang naman kahit di manalo eh. Okay, sige. Ano pang pag-uusapan natin, guys? No audio, no sounds. Cebu Pacific. Cebu Pacific, I bought. I have it also in my personal port. So I was thinking 36, 37. It was a buy. Happy that it rose 37, 37, 38, 39. Hopefully mag-45 CSEB. So we have resistance at about 45 and about 50, 55. Okay lang yan. Yung mga 1,000 plus rank. Kasi yung kalaban natin may dito and sigurado may dito at saka may Now Corp yun at may Chelsea yun. So congrats. Sure yan. Sure na may mga dito Telecom at Now Corp yan. kung wala kang dito, sure talo ka na eh. Kasi the only way for you to be 15% up is meron ka nito, na-move mo to, nag-trade ka ng now, 3 to 360, ito yun, no, 3, 290 to 360 yan, tapos may dito ka. In fairness, yung now and dito, talaga namang nagbigay siya ng, nagbigay talaga dito ng entry eh. Nung 440, 430, hindi lang ako parang, actually naisip ko, late na ba ako? Tapos nung 5, nagbigay ng entry. So, hindi naman kasalanan ni dito yun. Kasalanan ko yun. Hindi ako naka-attend. Hindi ako attention mode. So, yun. Pero, may kita mo naman top traded, ayan 1 billion na kay dito. Si Chelsea yun. Alam nyo rin naman na umangat eh. So, yun. I think congrats to those who are Investacup trading, whether in your virtual or in reality, no? So, anong tingin mo sa green? Green malakas, pero wala tayo niyan eh. 218 yata si green ngayon eh. 225 na ba? Oh, 223. I think this one mahirap kasing pasukan eh kasi parang late na eh. The resistance would be 250. Kung mag-dip yan sa 2, maraming buyers na yan. Pero parang hindi na magdi-dip eh. 213 lang ata yung dip nito. So far uptrend naman yan. As long as uptrend, wala tayong argument diyan. 250 to 260 yung galaw. I just don't know kung may bagsak pa ba ng 211 yan or what. Pwede kasi bumaba ng 210, 'di ba? Pwedeng ganoon, pwedeng mag-shake out pa yan. Pero uptrend naman. Meg po, ma'am. Meg, actually lahat ng properties in the Philippines tulog eh. So, mahirap silang bumili. Parang, okay lang, if you buy 290, you just don't know kung aangat. So, at this point in time, Conso lang siya, Mega World, SM Prime, lahat ng properties, parang, if kumita ka man, 5%, ayan, may resistance ka sa 319, 316 eh. So, actually, yung mga Meg na yan, yung setup niyan, same yan sa mga setup ng mga BDO eh. Parang kapag nasa baba, tulog, walang nangyayari, bumibili ka lang, hintayin mo lang na umungat ng 91, 92, 100, ganun lang. So, I don't think that there will be momentum, honestly speaking. Pero it doesn't mean that we can't make money on them. Parang hintay lang, especially if hindi man tayo momentum player. How about URC? URC 130, may buyer. URC right now 135. So, medyo nasa neutral zone. So every time it falls near 130, you can see 132, there was a buyer. Even if it falls ng below 130, you'll still see a lot of buyers eh. So at this level, I'd say parang it's a nowhere zone. I wouldn't know if it goes up, I wouldn't know if it goes down. So you can see that the volume is small. So the people also don't know if it's gonna go up. EEI, let's see EEI. EEI construction has been doing well. Umangat siya from 6, ngayon 720 na. Dire-diretso lang, no? From about 550, tapos nag-break ng 6, tapos ngayon 720. I would say that construction firms still have money to spend, no? So they will, ever since naman na nagkaroon ng construction contract yung EI at M-Wide, talagang the contracts are for the long term. So given that it fell from about 9 to as low as about 4, some people will try to make a V-shaped reversal here. So, possible in the long term, okay naman. So, any drops here about 650 might go to 9. I will take a look at some kasi mga construction related to appliance. Tulog pa rin si home, no? People ask me about home eh. Wala, tulog pa rin. Tulog pa rin siya. Kayo, anong tingin nyo? Sana manalo na lang tayo sa raffle. 3 months po. Okay lang. Okay lang. Actually, hindi naman ako okay lang yan. Like, that's why day 1, day 2, day 3, enjoy nyo lang yung enjoy the competition because at the end of the day, what's more important really is yung may natutunan din talaga kayo. So, yun, parang, usually kasi sa market sa Philippines, mostly trading mostly charts. Wala talaga masyadong fonda. Unlike sa US, makikita mo, I can explain global market updates, may fonda Pero in fairness in the Philippines, kung fundamentals, we'll have to take into consideration that nickel and ASEN, yung mga apex mining, if gold will go up, pwede siyang umangat. So yun, like yung mga SEB naman, reopening play lang yan. So reopening play, URC is steady, stable, so no problem with those names. As for yung mga gumalaw recently, yung mga 50% up, you can clearly see naman that dito Telecom and Chelsea, those are trading items. Like I wouldn't think that the people who bought today didn't sell today then, or if they didn't sell, they might sell tomorrow, diba? So very short term yung mga trading na time frame doon. Okay, thank you very much. See you again tomorrow. And then, ayun, October 1 na. See you. Bye-bye.